Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Jammies with Jam. Tonight we have a thought-provoking topic. We want to discuss, are you living in your truth? Think about it for a moment. Are you living in your truth? A philosopher once said, "Whom the Son has set free is free indeed." Now, many people have questioned, was it actually set? Was it actually make? But originally the translator said, "Whom the Son make free is free indeed." So what's really the difference between make and set? Now, if we were to just think about the word set for a quick second, the word set just simply means put, lay, or stay, put in a specific state. So if you was to think about the word set, in order to be set somewhere, it's somebody has the control of you. They can put you in a place. They can take you from a place. You're in a place of bondage, or you're in a place of freedom. And if you have been set free, the interesting part about this is this. If you have been set free, your mind was conditioned when you were in bondage. So when you become out of bondage, you're going to look for that bondage lifestyle simply because that's what you were used to. You would not get yourself entangled again with the bondage that you came out of, but you would get into another situation which would be a different type of bondage, but at the end of the day, it is still bondage. So why did the philosophers say make instead of set? Because the philosopher feels if you're going to step into your truth and live and be who you really are, it has to be made. You have to be made free. Well, what is made? Caused to exist or bring about. So let's think of this. I'm made free, which simply means nobody gave me the opportunity. Nobody has the control of it. I have control because I developed in it. So whom the Son makes free is free indeed. Now, when we look just from a biblical standpoint, if we look for the Son is also reverenced as the Spirit of truth. He even says that I am the way, I am the truth, and I am the life. So, if he is the truth, whom the truth shall make free, ye shall be free indeed. So there's power in truth. There's power in truth. So if you want to be made free, that means you must accept the truth. Now, there's a difference between adapting to the truth, because when you adapt to the truth, you become set. You can be set in a place, and once you're set in that place, when it becomes a little bit uncomfortable, you can be set somewhere else. You don't have to adapt. But when you adapt, you don't fully accept. But when you accept it and become one with it, you can be made free. So give me an example of what do you mean when you say made free? Perfect example. If you found yourself in a situation where it was an abusive relationship, and the person said they loved you and they loved you and they loved you and they loved you, and they abused you. But then after they abuse you, they'll tell you they love you, they love you, they love you. It was a mistake. They love you, they love you, they love you, they love you. When you finally decide to get out of that relationship, the problem is the next person that comes along, in the back of your mind, you are anticipating that they're going to do something similar. And if they don't do it, you now have a problem because you have adapted to that custom. You didn't accept it, you adapted to it. So when you're set in a new place, your mind is going back to what you were originally part of. So the question be, if you don't yell or you don't abuse, and if you don't hurt, and if you don't treat me a certain way, then you don't love me, because from my adaptation of this relationship, abuse and love went hand in hand. But when you come to understand and accept what love really is, you won't tolerate abuse, because love doesn't abuse. When you accept what something truly is, you won't be abused. So let's give an example for making. If I have a cake here, I have all the ingredients, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this cake. This cake didn't exist. All it has was parts and particles. It didn't exist. So what I would do, I would take the flour, some would add milk, some would take the eggs, and they'll mix it together, batter it up till it becomes nice and fluffy. Put it in the oven, take it out. When it seemed like the toothpick can go through the little cake bun and out and come back clean, that means the inside is done. Then you put the icing on the cake and you set the cake on the table. Now you have made a cake. You took something that didn't exist, that wasn't already established, and you made something. You took everything, every broken piece, every connection, every elaboration, put it together, and now you made a masterpiece. So when you accept truth, you take a reality that didn't seem like it existed and bring it into existence. So when you start living in your truth, you're living in a reality based upon factual information. So that was the conflict between why would there be set and why would there be making. But let's go into living in your truth. Now here's a question I have for you. How can you accept truth from somebody that keeps lying to themselves? How can you? How can you? If I can't tell myself the truth, how can you expect me to tell you the truth and make sure what I'm telling you is factual? The individual that lies to themselves will tell you their reality, their truth, which is based upon false information. And because you connected to them, you would adapt. Now you set, adaptation, acceptance, you're making. So now you adapt to their lifestyle, that you now see yourself through their eyes. How can you accept truth from somebody that keeps lying to themselves? That's real fishy right there. Now, let me give you an example. If you was to go outside about 1:05 p.m., the sun would be shining, the sky would be blue, the clouds would be nice and white. So if I was to ask you, what color is the sky? What can you say? You would say, from your perception, that the sky is blue. From your perception, from your reality, from what you've seen, and all that you adapted to, the sky is blue. But in fact, if I tell you the sky is black, would you actually believe me? Would you actually agree with me that the sky is black? Well, since daytime acceptance came, daylight saving time came, go outside at 7 p.m. and look in the sky. You won't see the white clouds. You won't see the sun. You won't even see the blue color. You would see a black abyss. Now, who's telling the truth? Is the sky actually blue, or is the sky actually black? From the rays of the sun, when you study it, because of the light from the sun, the sky becomes blue, but the sky is actually black. But you have many people living in the mindset of blue skies, when in reality, the sky is black. Why? Because of their perception and the things that they have experienced. They have come to their level of truth that works for them. However, that's not the bottom line truth. Just because you was raised in a home environment and you had to be tough and you had to be strong and you happen to be a female and your home environment was nothing but your brothers, your parents, your brothers, and yourself. So you've learned how to be rough, you learn how to be tough, you learn how to be strong, you learn how to wrestle and tussle with the boys. Some people will feel you're not in touch with your feminine side because you had too much of masculine influence. And because of what they saw and they perceived and experienced you with your masculine influence, they would confess that you will be masculine. But is that the truth? Absolutely not. Other people's perceptions, other people's expectations, and what other people see is not always the truth. Because the greatest things that will lie to you are follow your eyes. Because your eyes will play tricks with you. So, what happens here is, because of other people's perceptions and other people's experiences by what they saw, they confess certain affirmations upon you, and you took what they've said and you ran with it, and now you stuck trying to find yourself because you've conditioned yourself according to other people's philosophies and haven't had the chance yourself to grow into who you really are. Now, some people experience not only come from what they see, but what they have experienced on their own. So because they experience females having tomboy ways in their time and happen to come out masculine, it goes across the board. How can you expect somebody that has been lying to themselves to tell you the truth? So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to do a little exercise. I want you to get a piece of paper, write down everything you can remember that other people said that you were supposed to be, or called you, or affirmed you, or told you what they felt about you. I want you to write all this stuff down. When you write it all down, I want you to take the paper, crumble it up into a nice ball, throw it on the floor, step on it, and then throw it away. Why? Because what happened is here, you taking yourself from a set mentality to a make it mentality. When you write down everything that people said about you, and you put it in a piece of paper, and you roll it into a ball, what you're saying is, I'm not limiting myself to what other people say. You throw it on the floor, symbolic to you're not going to take it. That's not who you are. You put your foot on it, symbolic to meaning that you have control over what they said and it doesn't apply to you. And then you throw it in the garbage can, which is symbolic of you saying everything, every judgment, every confession, every statement, every word that was said about me, I renounce it and I send it back to whence it come. So once you do that, take a deep breath, and now you have to speak into you what your truth is. Now you have to reevaluate who you really are. You have to dig deep and research yourself to understand. Okay, for example, I'm rough and I'm tough. That simply means I'm strong, I'm driven, I'm passionate. I'm soft and sensitive. That's not a bad thing. That means you're loving. That means you're caring. That means you have empathy for others. I talk too much. That's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. That means you're a writer. You're an orator. That means you have the ability to speak and others will listen. You are a carrier of information. You have to identify who you are. You have to tell yourself who you are. You're going from a set mentality to a make mentality. I'm going to make myself be who I am supposed to be. And I refuse to adapt to what other people say about me. Now, the third thing I want you to see is we understood the difference between the set and the make. We've understood the difference between how we live in our mentality of knowing who we are, getting rid of what other people said about us. Now, in order for you to fully embrace your truth, you have to invite the spirit of truth to become part of you. You have to invite the spirit of truth to become part of you. You have to invite the spirit of truth, the presence of truth to be with you and in you. That the spirit of truth can show you your strengths, show you your weaknesses, and allow the spirit of truth to help you make your weakness a strength. So what you have to do, if you want to live in your truth, you have to come from a mindset of being set to a make mindset. Once you enter into a make mindset, you must take all the negative speech that was said about you and remove it out of your life. Thirdly, take the spirit of truth, become one with it, and let the spirit of truth help reveal who you are. Now, it's not going to be an easy process. It's going to take time, but embrace the process. Why? Because it will help you. It will develop you, and it will not keep you in delay any further. Because certain things were delayed because you were not in your truth. You were delayed in opportunities. You were delayed in doors. You was delayed in business adventures because you wasn't living in your truth. You haven't fully accepted who you are. You took what others said and ran with it. But tonight, no more. Tonight, you're going to live in your truth. We'll talk more about that. See you next time.